Good day, everyone. Father Neil Dadey here once again with you on this Friday of the 5th week of Easter. Once again, we hope you are doing well and staying safe during this time. In today's gospel, Jesus says a very interesting line that I think gives us the basis of our spiritual foundation, spiritual growth. It's when he tells us, "It was not you who chose me, but I have chosen you." Now think of that. It was not you who chose me. It was I who chose you. If we think of this deeply, it should fill our hearts and our souls with a spirit of humility. Humility. That the God of all creation, the God who always is, was, and will be, the God who created the universe, the God who holds all creation, that known and unknown, in the palm of his hands, has individually chosen each one of us, not to be a slave, as Jesus says in today's gospel, but I call you friends. God has called us into an intimate relationship with him, to come to know him, to love him, to enjoy him. Enjoy his love, his comfort, and his peace. I think sometimes in our development we think that our prayers and our we wake up one day and we say, well, I'm going now to please God. I'm going now to make him happy. I have chosen him, and he ought to be happy with that choice. Our humility tells us no, that God has chosen us. God has called us. God has summoned us. He began the relationship first. And our response to that wonderful call, our response to that great invitation to become friends with him, that grace then moves our hearts to respond to him in love. His call evokes, hopefully, a humble response. Not in the reverse. Not that we have to do things to please him. Not that we have to do things to earn his love. That now, because I've done A, B, C, D, and E, God loves me. No. That's backwards. God loves us first. He calls us first. He beckons us to enter into this deep relationship with him. And out of our love for him, then we give him our response back. One of humility, one of gratitude, one of joy, knowing that such a wonderful God has called us to be united with him. Now, he calls us for a particular purpose. He calls us to be friends. It was not you who chose me. I chose you to go forth and bear fruit. What is that fruit? To bring his love, his joy, his peace, his comfort to another. It's just not God and me. I think sometimes we get that as a spiritual idea in our minds. It's not God and me. It's God and us. We journey together as a community. We journey together as a family. And when God calls us to go out and to bring his love to one another, that is what we are doing. We are building his family, building his community, building his kingdom here upon this earth, in a shadow way, and ultimately when we reach heaven, to rejoice with him forever as one. As Jesus prays, Father, that they may be one in us, as you are in me and I in you, that they may be one together. And I think I'm hoping that's where this Easter season, even though we're not together during this Easter season, that joy of being called, that joy of being chosen, that joy of being called friends, not slaves, that joy of entering into this union with Jesus would so move our hearts to be humble enough to bring that peace and love and joy to others, as I know many are doing at this time. We know we don't have to be reminded of the first responders, the families who are working together as one. And so today I hope that this gospel message, when you read it on your own, fills your heart with that that humility that says, wow, our God has chosen me, has called us by name to be a friend, not a slave. And when that becomes the foundation of our spiritual life, one of the pillars, then we are more than happy and ready to spread that joy and that love to others, informing them of that same idea. And so today, rejoice in God's friendship as much as you can. Rejoice in the fact that we have a God who loves us so intimately and so closely that he doesn't call us slaves, he calls us friends. And always remember, it was not you who chose God, it was God who chose you to become his friend. What an absolutely marvelous spiritual idea to think about. God bless, take care, and keep well.